What's going on, everybody? It's your man Lyndon Britt from successwithlyndon.com, also the founder of Home Run Marketing, where we cover all bases of your business. And sorry about that. I was having a couple of issues with Facebook, and I hope we got this thing figured out by now. Let me take a look at it. It says Facebook is actually building my audience. We're going to talk about something very nice for you all. So sorry, like I said, sorry about the delay. Facebook was tripping on me for a minute. What's going on, Miss Bebe Loves Pee-wee, to the woman of my dreams. When you don't have the support at home, any of y'all have something that you want to do, that you want to get accomplished, that you feel that you're not getting support at the house? This kind of hit home for a minute, for a little bit. So this is something that I can personally speak from. I'm going to speak to you from two different points of view. So matter of fact, since Facebook was kind of delayed to hop on, I'm gonna go ahead and get things jumping on. But as you hop in here, let me know where you're viewing from. Of course, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Oh, wait a minute, my boy Jew got on here. Let me put on his hat for a second. I had to make sure it was ready for my boy Jew. Jew, man, good to see you on here. Appreciate you hopping on. But we're gonna cover a couple of things, and as you know, I like to bring you the word with it. So I'm going to bring you something that actually touches from home once again. And just as a disclaimer that I like to throw out there, and it's all truth. Me, I like to apply the word of God to my business. So as you hear me, I'm going to give you the scripture. I like to throw a little bit of word out with my message, because this is how I apply the word of God to my business. So you don't have to mess with me and say that's not what the Bible means. This is how I take the Bible and apply it to my business as I'm reading, when I'm doing my study time and stuff like that. So today I'm going to talk to you, and I'm just going to mention, I'm not here to give you a Bible lesson, but Colossians 3, verse 19. Colossians 3, verse 19. And like I said, this is speaking from a personal standpoint. What's going on, Juancito? Appreciate you hopping in here. Colossians 3 and 19. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Now, there's a lot more that went along with that. If you want to know more about that, you can go back and read that chapter in the Bible for yourself. Colossians chapter 3. It actually got to speaking more about that. But husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. This goes vice versa as well. Okay, so I told you I'm going to talk to you from both standpoints. Wives do the same thing. If there's something that you want to accomplish in your life and you feel that you're not getting the support at home, all right, so I'm going to jump right into the meat of the message that I want to go here. So the title of this is When Unsupport Goes Bad. When Unsupport Goes Bad. Appreciate that. Matter of fact, John, appreciate you hopping in here, man. Same time every day. You already know it. When you all hop in here, there's a share button down at the bottom. If you can, once again, I see that invite a couple of folks to see this message. Invite a couple of folks to come view this thing live. They may have a few questions. I'd love to be able to resonate, because I know I'm not the only person that had to deal with this. All right, I'm not the only person that had to deal with this. I'd love for other people to be able to hear this thing out and figure out what can I do and how can I begin to get my spouse or my significant other to start supporting me. What's going on, Miss Amy? All right, so there's a share button down at the bottom. I appreciate y'all hitting that up. So we're just gonna jump right into the meat of it. For you all that are just now hopping in, we're speaking of Colossians chapter 3, verse 19. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. And once again, this goes vice versa as a business standpoint. Now jump right into this. I brought my own little board today, and I'm gonna write some things down for y'all. Okay. So what is that? I want to talk to you. What are the typical things that happen? The emotions, I guess you could say, the emotions of what happened. And this might be backwards for you all on Facebook Live. Emotions, of course, it's backwards. That happens when you begin to get that. You want that support to start happening. You've got somebody that you really want to get something done, and you just feel you don't have the support. What's going on, Miss Jean? Appreciate you hopping in here. Okay, the first thing that happens when you take an idea or a thought to someone, to that significant other in the household, whether it could be family or friends. A lot of you all may not be married, you may not be engaged, you may be in a relationship, you may not. Some of you all may go to family with your ideas and things that you want to get accomplished, but you don't get support from family. This stands for them as well. The first thing that happens when you bring the idea to your family, friends, spouse, whatever, and they don't support you, you don't get the reaction that you thought you would get, is disbelief. And once again, this might be backwards. I can't write like I'm writing in the mirror, but the first thing that happens is disbelief. You can't believe it. You be like, you just knew good and well that you would get the support that you thought you would when you presented whatever it was that when you presented, you thought you would have them to back you up. You just knew they would push you forward. You knew they would join you. You knew they would help you in whatever ways. So when you find out that you got the response that they didn't agree, they might even have spoken against what you were doing, you're caught off guard, as they call it, flabbergasted. You just like, what? Are you serious? I really thought you was gonna back me up on this thing. So it causes you to be in disbelief. Okay. Your next reaction, what happens? You go into, matter of fact, I know this is backwards, so, but I'm still gonna do it. Whatever. You go into defense mode. Okay. You go into defense mode. If this is happening to you, throw me a couple of hearts. Matter of fact, you could toss down there in the comments a few situations. If this is happening to you, throw me a thumbs up, a few hearts. When you had somebody, I mean, for me, and I give you a perfect example. I wanted to play professional baseball. My goal was to play professional baseball. I pursued baseball at 30 years old. Matter of fact, one of the gentlemen that I was in camp with is on here right now. His name is Julian. That's one of the guys that was at camp with me. I was 30 years old on a baseball field with a lot of people, and the person closest to me was 25 or 23 or 25. The youngest person at the camp was 15. Before I left to go, I told my family, I told my friends what I wanted to do, and I got very little support. It hugely surprised me about the support that I didn't get from the people. And I'm throwing my personal experience out there. And this is go for personal, and like I said, this applies to life and business. I did the same thing in business, and I'm speaking to you from two aspects. Okay, same thing happened in business. I had a business opportunity I brought to the house. My wife wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't get the support at the house that I thought I would have, that I wanted, that I sought. Okay, and how about this? It won't work. My broke uncle said so. Man, aunts, uncles, cousins, I've got them all that told me it won't work. Believe it or not. And you know it, and you know it to be true. But you go into defense mode. When first of all, you go into disbelief. The second thing, you go into defense mode. And what happens when you go into defense mode? You begin to defend what it is that you're trying to do. Okay, so a lot of people say, what is it that defends? You begin to defend. You try to justify to the person that doesn't believe you or doesn't support you. You try to justify to them why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? And that puts it, yes, sir, had more heart than anybody. People gave everybody that drive to never give up. I appreciate that. And that's what I do. That's what I love to do. I love to see people succeed in anything that they really want to get accomplished. That's just me. I push in our workouts on the field. I push people to the limits. That's what I do. That's what I love to do because I love to see people succeed. But once again, you go into defense mode and you try to start explaining why it is that you want to get accomplished what you want to do. My goal for business, like, look, I want to start doing this. I want to, and they're already tuned out to what you're trying to accomplish. They're just telling you it doesn't work. Now, I've had this live before. And the reason why a lot of people say it doesn't work, you got one of three reasons. Number one, you're doing something that they don't have the guts to do. Number two, you may be doing something that they did but failed at. Or number three, they may have never tried it. Okay? They may have never tried it, and they may have had a fear and never tried it. They just don't want to see you fail. So, but when you begin to do that, so those are three reasons why they may not have any idea why they won't support you, because of the fact that they did it and failed, they didn't try it all, or they had a fear. Okay? I think I just mixed that up, but whatever. Go back and watch the replay. Anyways, okay. So the third thing that happens after you go into defense mode, what happens? You don't get the response that you want, and guess what happens to you? You get an attitude. You get an attitude. It's frustrating when you present something, you be in disbelief because you didn't get the response that you wanted. You go into defense mode and you try to explain why it is that you're trying to do what you do. You still don't get the response. You can't get through to that person. What happens? You get an attitude. This happened to me personally. I got an attitude with my wife when at one point when and this is why I brought up the subject, husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. I began to be harsh with my wife because I got an attitude that she didn't support what I was trying to do, and my idea was doing it for us. I wasn't doing it for me. I wanted to do it for us. And my thing, I want your support if I'm doing something for us. I'm not doing this for me. So it caused me to have an attitude because she didn't have the same vision that I did. Some of y'all may be going through that same thing right now. There's something that you want to accomplish and you're not getting through to your significant other, and it's causing you to have an attitude. Okay? And what I mean by the attitude, I don't have to explain attitude. You're very short. You're very short. You don't want to, it's hard to converse. You don't even want to talk about certain topics because you know what it is that you want to do that this person just won't back you up on. So what happens then? Number 4, you go into rejection mode. You go into rejection mode. You begin to reject any idea that comes forward, anything that you want. Everybody's definition of support is different. That is absolutely correct. And I'm getting to that. Trust me. AB, what's going on? Appreciate you hopping on here, man. Reject. Everybody goes into, you go into reject. After you have an attitude, you go into rejection mode. Any idea that this person has, J-Dub, appreciate you hopping here. Any idea that that significant other has, you begin to reject. And why? And this one goes hand in hand with number 5. This one goes hand in hand with number 5. When you begin to reject, what happens? You want revenge. You want revenge. You can't wait for your significant other to bring an idea to you. Now, see, I'm kind of telling on myself, even though my wife and I have had this discussion, we've passed it, and we're doing other things. I don't know if we ever had this conversation or not, but she's saying that you begin to get revenge. And of course, she knows me. And at that time, I was still growing, and we were freshly married, and we were still growing together. And my idea was, I can't wait for you to come up with something that you want to do. I don't care how good it is. I'm going to shoot it down because you're not supporting me. I begin to reject what that person is doing. You begin to reject what that person does. Even if your uncle or that cousin John, if their uncle or that cousin or anybody else or that family come to you with an idea of something that they want to get accomplished, I don't care if it's something personal. Hey, I need you to help me move down the street. I'm about to move out of this apartment. Your idea now is, I want to get revenge. No, I came to you with an idea to be able to get a business going, to have an idea, to start something, and you threw me out the window. You didn't even turn an open mind to what I had to say. So now your idea is to reject them in order to get revenge on not helping them out. Whatever it may be. What's going on, Cheryl? Your idea was to get revenge, so you shut out any ideas that they may have had. If you all agree, if you've all ever experienced this, throw me a few thumbs up. Okay, if this is a value to you right now, this is the value, go ahead and hit that share button. If you hadn't hit it already, share this thing out, because a lot of people need to hear this message. Trust me, I'm getting to the meat. This is just the meat of it. I'm about to start grinding into a little bit more how to help you get past this. Okay, so if you agree, if this has ever happened, throw a few thumbs up, a few hearts, a few smiley faces, or whatever. I want to know I'm not by myself, because this happened to me years ago. Okay, so after, once again, you present your opportunity, whatever it may be. Like I said, a business opportunity. I don't care if it's a nonprofit. If you want to open up your own store, you want to start your own business, you want to begin an organization in a church or program. Perhaps a deacon even told you, no, we're not going to do that. Perhaps a pastor or a reverend said, no, we're not going to do that ministry here. Perhaps we don't want any part of that. You can take that somewhere else. Whatever it may be. See, that doesn't just apply to business. It applies to life. And as soon as somebody, perhaps that happened in your church, and then somebody asked you to come forth and, hey, we need you to do the announcements on this day. No, that's okay. They didn't like my idea, so I don't even want to help. That vengeful heart. I used to have that vengeful heart. And I'm not alone on this thing. All right, so now that we've gotten past that point, we know the emotions. First thing happens, disbelief, when you present something to someone and they don't accept what you're saying. Then you go into defense mode and you begin to explain what it is or why that you're trying to accomplish thing that you're trying to accomplish, and you still don't get through to them. So what happens? You get an attitude about it. And when you get an attitude about it, it causes you to be very short. You kind of cut communication. You really don't want anything to do with that person because they don't have the same vision that you have, and it causes you to go into rejection mode in order to get revenge when that person comes with an idea to you. Okay? Those are your 5 things, emotions that you have to deal with when you're not getting the support of the house. Now, how to get out of that situation? How do you change that situation for the good? How do you turn around and get that support from that specific person or people that you're trying to get through to? Number 1, the first thing you got to do. Now, here's your solution right here. The first thing you got to do, what if they don't support you, but they support someone else's business and you are in a relationship? That's fine. I'm finna show you right now. I'm finna show you right now. Okay. Even if they don't support you and they support someone else's business, that's completely fine. I've had that happen to me before. Presented a business opportunity. Somebody said, I'm not into network marketing, don't like it, whatever. Turn around a couple of minutes later, they joined another network marketing company with somebody else I knew. It's happened to me before, Jason. Trust me, it's happened to me before. First thing you want to do with those people that you're trying to let know about, you want to sit down with that person. Sit down with those people. Okay? That's one of the hardest things you're going to have to force yourself to do this, because you already have a hardened heart. You already have hard feelings toward the situation, toward the person, but you have to sit down with that person or with the people that you want to do. The next thing you want to do, okay, now this can't be in the heat of the moment when you start to get that attitude. Okay, this cannot be when you begin to get that attitude and you feel that we got to get this clear, because once again, you're not going to get your point across. Once you're in that calm state and you're just like, look, hey, I want to know if I can sit down with you for a few minutes. Nope, no pitching you no ideas. I'm not bringing you anything, but I just want to talk to you. Okay, fine. We'll sit down for a few minutes. All right. You got the hardest part out of the way and schedule time to sit down with them. Whatever it may be. You already told them, I'm not trying to pitch you anything. I already understand. I got your answer. I see where you stand on it, but I just want to know if I can talk to you for a minute. Okay, cool. Now they already they're at ease mode right now, so they're not about to be pitched about anything, whether, like I said, wherever it is. Next thing you do after you sit down with them, you tell them why. You tell them why. Okay, you tell them why it is that you want to. I had to do this with my wife. I sat my wife down. I told her, this is why I want to do this. I want to get you out of the job. Okay, and why you tell them that why, within that, you sitting down with them, telling them your why, you're expressing to them your goals. The goals that you want to get accomplished. The reason why I want to do this is because I've been working 7 days a week for however many hours a day. I've been working this job for 20 years, so and so. And if I see myself, and see, if you can talk to a lot of people, I've been working this job for the last 10, 15 years, and I only get a 10%, I only get a 1 or 2% raise every year. I said, like, I did this at one of my jobs. At one of the last jobs I had, I sat down, I say, I'm only getting this much. They give us a 2% raise. I say, I looked at where I would be in 5 years from now, and I'm only making $1.50 more than what I'm making right now. In 5 years from now. This was my life before I went and tried out for pro baseball. And I'm saying, I'm sitting right here making this much, and in 5 years from now, I'm literally making $1.50 more than what I'm making right now. If I do this for several years, that's not going to put me on the track to financial freedom and not working for anybody else. If this was you and you want to present it something, gotta go, babe, I'll be back. Okay, appreciate that. You can catch the replay anytime. Yeah, I told you start checking your spelling. But if you go to church and you tell them, these are my goals right now, and I'll give you another example. The person happened, we've got this organization right now. I want to begin to reach more people in the community. Right now, we're only reaching a lot of older adults, something like that, but we've got to start getting youth in the church. Perhaps you have an idea to get more youth in the church. Perhaps you have another idea to start another ministry that can open up a whole new avenue of a new membership at your church, or whatever it may be. If it's a nonprofit, to start helping a lot more people start solving issues within the city that you may be able to get backing through the city, whatever it may be. When you sit down and you have a plan and you show them what your goals are, okay? So number one, you want to sit down. Number two, you want to tell them why you're doing what you're doing, and you want to express the goals that you have. And if you don't know anything about this, matter of fact, when you take this to the government, this is how you get grants as well. So if you look into this, you have to have very specific details on what you want to do with the money and how you're going to spend it, and the goals that you have in order for the government to be able to give you grants. So I'm giving you another avenue as well, not only to get support from in your house, outside as well. All right, so I hope you're paying attention and taking notes of this. The next thing you want to do is ask for, so I'm gonna abbreviate this, ask for support. Ask for support. Your idea right now is not to pitch them once again to get you to join them. But like, look, okay, these are my ultimate goals. I understand where you stand right now, but I just want to know if you can support me and back me up on this. I need to know that you've got my back. Okay, when I told my wife about this right now, and I told her about the business I was doing, or even going to play professional baseball, I don't care if you agree with it now. I understand that you don't agree. I know where you stand. And she supported me going out. And I'm talking about my family that didn't think it was a great idea. But in business, anything else, you let them know what it is. I understand where you stand, but let me know. I just want to know I got your support. If I want to go, I need to know that you're pushing me and you hoping I succeed, not hoping I can fail so you can come back and say, I told you so. I want to know that I have your support behind this. If you got an organization that you need to begin, look, I understand that you don't want this happening in the church or something like that, so whatever it may be, but I want to go start this. I want to know if I can get this started, that I have your support and backing me up, that you may be able to help me with a couple of things, even though it may not be going on right here. And you begin to get that support because of the fact that you sat down with them, you told them why, you shared them your goals. See, a lot of people don't agree with you because they feel that you're in it just for you. If you show that the goals are actually help somebody else and they didn't realize that you want to help somebody else, they may actually back you more, support you even more than you thought. So you got to express that, hey, I need your support, and be like, hey, I didn't know you was doing it for that. Before, I expressed to my wife that I was working so hard at the business that we do because I wanted her to stop working, because I wanted us to have that freedom. She didn't agree. She only thought it was only for the money for a while. And then after a while, when she began to see that I wanted to help other people, she was like, wow, Pee-wee, I actually see. And she got on board even more, because she saw that it wasn't about me. What's going on, Ms. Deborah? Appreciate you hopping on here. And for the last thing you want to do after you ask for support, this is your biggest one. This is your biggest one. Okay? The final one, commit to your plan. Commit to your plan. Another reason why so many people do not get the support at home, because the people at home see you start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, begin, quit, start, stop on so many things. You have to learn and stay committed to the plan and to be able to reach the ultimate goal that you told them you were working toward. If you do not, you will not get that support from that person, whether now or next time, because the first thing you're going to think is the last two things you stopped, the last three things you did, you quit. The time before that you quit. When you said you were going to do this, you didn't finish that. When you're not going to get that support when you cannot commit to what you said you wanted to do. So if you are a business owner, if you have an ultimate goal of starting a nonprofit, you got an organization that you want to start within the church, within the community, you got something you want to follow through, whatever it may be, and you got a plan, you told somebody. See, a lot of people, you go off and you tell some people, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do this, and then when the time comes, what happened? Oh, I stopped doing that a while ago. Why'd you stop doing it? I don't know. I wasn't getting no results. But guess what? It's going to take time. You would get a lot more respect from somebody that came to you and asked you 2 years down the road, hey, what happened to that thing? Oh, I'm still doing it. Oh, you are? They're surprised. A lot of people are surprised because they're so used to so many people quitting things. But when you remain committed, guess what? You still doing it? Okay, I may need to take a look at that then. Yeah, you should. Schedule time to. At that point, when you get asked for support and you commit to what you say you're going to do, you begin understand once you sit these people down, you tell them that I've told you this before, their eyes are going to be watching you. They're going to be watching to see if you're succeeding. They're going to be watching to see if you're doing the thing you said you're going to do. They're going to be watching to see if you're following through with what you said your plan would be in order to accomplish that goal. And the closer you come, the more involved they want to become to help you. Carla Sander, how do you determine what kind of business you want to start? That depends on where your heart is. That depends on what things that you have a passion for. And a lot of times, believe it or not, regardless to the kind of business that you're in, it really depends on your focus of what the ultimate goals of what you're trying to accomplish. And appreciate you hopping on here, Aunt Carla. Even past prospects that you're talking to the past. That's right. Past prospects are still watching. So in order to determine what it is that you want to do, you find out. See, I used to always say it depends on what your passion is. If you find something that you love to do that doesn't seem like a job, you can do it, and it doesn't seem like a job, and you continue to do it on. In reality, you can talk to anybody who became financially independent, rich, or whatever it is. If it's money that you're after, if it's money that you seek, or helping people with whatever it is that you want to accomplish, number one, you got to find out what is the ultimate goal that you want to do. Okay, so what is the fastest way? What game plan can you put together to begin to get toward that ultimate goal? So perhaps you want to start donating money to something. You want to start a charity of some sort. Okay, your ultimate goal may not be if you like crocheting, and you know that there may or may not be a lot of money in crocheting. You're not going to find something that does crocheting if it's not a lot of money, because you can't really help a lot of people. Like, A lot of rich and successful people have done many things that they felt uncomfortable doing that they didn't want to do. So you may have to get out of your comfort zone and do something that you don't want to do in order to get closer to something that you do want to do. If networking, I say, I can't stand network marketing. I know a lot of people that say I don't like network marketing whatsoever, but I hate working for other people. I want to be able to own my own business. Okay, that's fine. You may absolutely hate working for somebody else, but you may know that network marketing could be the fastest avenue for you to be able to get financial freedom to get toward doing what you want to do. So you may have to do something that you don't like in order to do that. Okay, nobody can tell you what it is that you need to do to be able to do. There are several marketing companies, there are several other businesses, several other companies you can work for to begin moving forward. Commitment with or without support is key. Support will follow. The thing that you can change is you. Be confident in your plan and follow through. You are the man. Remember, my husband wasn't, well, I can't, it said see more, so I'm going to have to look up. Well, I appreciate that. But that is the ultimate thing that you have to really find out. Number one, if those people don't support you, sit down. Tell them why you're doing what you're doing and express to them your goals. Ask for their support. Whether you agree or you don't agree, I ask that you support me because I'm asking. Period. Like I said, I'm asking that you're not looking for me to fail, but you're actually praying for me to succeed. I just want your support. I know where you stand. We had this discussion. That's how I had an attitude in the first place, but I don't want to go back there. And then commit to your plan of working whatever it is that you want to do. Okay? So when you're not getting support, when that unsupport goes bad, it's easy to turn that thing around when you sit down and think and actually talk to people and discuss what it is that you're doing. How do you do that? You sit down at a calm manner when emotions aren't running high, when you're not feeling like you have an attitude, when you don't feel like I have to get my point across, and let them know why. You may be able to get through a whole lot more. Matter of fact, you can even ask the person to see, don't look at this as a one-sided thing that you have to express why it is. You can even ask them, why is it that you don't support this idea? You begin to get more and more, start opening up their eyes to figure out what they think of why, whether you care or not, but find out why it is that they feel the way they do about not supporting you. What is it about this that you don't support? Why is it that you don't like this? Or why is it that you don't feel you can't back me up in this? Or you feel that this won't work? You may find out that they tried and it didn't work for them. Well, I tried and it didn't work for me. I can understand that. Okay, so why do you feel that didn't work for you? Well, I didn't so and so, and you begin to find out that person might not have had support. Say, I didn't know it. Had I known, I'd have supported you. I've got a lot of people backing me up in this. I've got a lot of people, just like when I found out that a lot of my family didn't think it was a good idea for me to go try for professional baseball at 30 years old. Guess what? I was able to tell them, hey, believe it or not, but I've got about 30 people that sponsor me that actually help me get there and get things paid for an entire month and a half, 2 months. I've got a lot of people that support me and back me up. It's just like, wow, they couldn't believe it. So, how do you make it happen? You sit down and have a request. There's a lot more to be covered tonight. If you want to go a little bit more in depth with this, there's a free webinar, and I'll type it in the comments that you all can attend. My boy Steve Cribnam, and I tell you, he always hits it on the point. You want to find out a little bit more about this? successwithlinden.com/free training, and I'll put it down there in the comments. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that down there right now for you all. And you'll be able to register for this. It's happening tonight at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And you can register for this right now. .com/free training. Okay? You can register for that right now if you want to. Steve is going to go into a little bit more depth about how to become successful even when you're not getting support from home, from the family, anything. We're going to go into some more in depth. Appreciate that, Jason. And Jake, appreciate you hopping on here, man. But if you all want to attend, it's a free webinar. There's nothing for sale. But if you want to go in depth on how you can become successful even when you don't have the support, and whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you register for this thing. Hop on tonight. I appreciate you hopping on. If this was of value to you, if you know a lot of other people that are not getting support at home for something that they want to get done, something they want to get accomplished, make sure you share this thing out. There's a button down there at the bottom left-hand corner. Share it out. Share this thing. There's many people that you're connected with and I'm not that needs to hear a message like this to let them know, keep going with what you're doing. Even if people won't support you, you can find out different ways of how you can begin to get support, even if not from them, from many others. So appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this training, you enjoyed this live, I have several more. You can meet me over at successwithlending.com and find a lot of other trainings, as well as access to be able to do things to grow your business and grow whatever organization is that you may be trying to grow, and with the tools that I have provided on that site. All right, so y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. I appreciate you hopping on here. Once again, throw some hearts, some likes if you agree, share this thing out, and connect with me on successwithlending.com. All right, I'll see y'all for Tips and Tools tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed day.